All right, let's go ahead and talk about it. So, in front of me, I have the majority of the parts and pieces that it takes to build one of these trolling motor setups. And I guess I'm going to go ahead and start with the wiring, what it is, and where I got it from. All right, so this here is the original battery wire that came off of the Minn Kota trolling motor that I took apart. I go ahead and keep this and reuse it. It's heavy gauge enough to run from the battery to the switch, so it will definitely save you a little bit of money there. Second is just a set of cheap jumper cables, and I cut the ends off just to, save some room on this table, but these are 10 gauge jumper cables. I believe they came from Walmart. They're pretty cheap. They work great. They have a lot of insulation around them, and they're made to carry power from a battery for quite a distance. So these are perfect if you choose to use them. If not, I would choose some other 10 gauge wire. All right, this here is the wire sleeve. This was bought on Amazon. I'm guessing you're going to need around 10 feet, and this is 1-inch tubing, and this is a 5-foot package, so you probably need 2 of these. This was also purchased on Amazon. It's a 50 amp fuse block. You just cut it here and wire it in right up close to your battery. That way, if your system ever shorts out, it pops this fuse instead of burning up all your wiring. All right, these came in a 5-pack. They're 10 gauge, and they are rated to run trolling motors. You're going to need 3 of these at minimal to build your system, and having a 4th one laying around ain't a bad deal. I use these to make the clip between the motor and the wiring harness itself so you can separate it. I also use these in a way to make my kill switch, which I'll talk about in a video later. You're probably going to need 3 rolls of black tape. Might as well buy the cheap stuff. You're going to use a lot of it. These are 10 gauge battery posts. You're going to need 2 of them. But what I've learned is a lot of times it's cheaper to buy this stuff in bulk off Amazon than it is to go to your local hardware store and just buy 2 of these. So I highly suggest picking up the stuff from Amazon that I have mentioned picking up from Amazon. It's just cheaper that way, and you wind up with extras. This was also purchased from Amazon. They are 10 gauge wire connectors. These have heat shrink ends on them. You can heat shrink them with a heat gun or a lighter or whatever, but you're going to need about maybe 20 of these to build your set, and I think this bag maybe has 50 in it. Once again, cheaper to purchase this whole bag from Amazon than it is for you to go to your local hardware store and get it. These were also bought from Amazon, and they're just Velcro straps. I use these after everything's done just to cinch down the 1-inch corrugated tubing that I use to kind of wrap the whole wiring harness in at the end to just give it a little more waterproofing. And I've found that these Velcro straps work better than zip ties. The zip ties, they're not reusable. They leave these little knobs all up and down the wiring harness. They get caught on everything, and they're just a major pain. So I highly recommend these Velcro straps because they just make everything better. A pull handle. You're going to need something like this for like a lawnmower or maybe a weed eater or chainsaw. You're going to use this as your pull-up rope to get your motor to come up from your seated position. I'll definitely talk more about this in the video that I make about the steering and pull-up rope. You need this little knob here or something similar to put on the top of this box, and it will be the knob that controls your speed settings once you get it all put together. And this knob was also bought on Amazon. This is a 10 gauge 90-degree spade. This one's already got the thing taken out of the inside, but this one still has the metal in it. You're going to need a few of these up inside this switch box right here. And I highly recommend buying these also from Amazon, because you can get a big box of them. And they don't even carry these at any of my local hardware stores. So, I mean, I think for $7 or $8, I got a couple hundred of these in different varying sizes. All right, this piece right here, this little wire clamp, it's missing the screws. I'll have to get some new ones. But these are what I use to attach to the pole to create the pull-up spot and my steering arm. I will definitely go over this in the steering section too. These were bought from a Menards, but I've also seen them at Lowe's. My local Ace Hardware does not carry them. This little U here is what I use to attach to my pull-up rope. And this was bought at an Ace Hardware. I mean, they're a few dollars or whatever, but you just need to make sure the one that you buy is long enough to accomplish what you need. And I bent mine to get that L shape that I talked about in one of the other videos. But more on this in the steering and pull-up portion in a separate video at a later date. This is just a stainless 3/8 bolt. You can buy these at any hardware store. This is what I use for the bump of the hinge. When the hinge comes down, it bumps this, and I usually put like some a little piece of rubber hose or something over this, so when the motor comes down and hits it, it like deadens that sound for you and gives it a little bit of cushion. You can also use this same bolt to replace the hinge in your motor at the hinge spot. If you really don't like that pressure fitted pin, this is usable. And I have done it with the normal pressure fit pin, but I've also used bolts. So this might work for you as well. Here we have the little electronic box that I use to house the switch. I bought this at Ace Hardware, and I'll talk more about this in the electronic video, and I already spoke on it a little bit in one of the other videos. So if you want to go and watch that video, you'll see it. I believe it's the one where I discuss some of the stuff that I used maybe. So that really kind of covers it. I mean, there's some more odds and ends that you'll need to pick up, and you know, this is what I have laying at my ready right now for you to kind of get a look at. But you know, I have had to use washers and different odds and ends bolts and scrap metal and stuff like that too. So if you guys have any questions, throw them in the comments, and thanks for watching.